Hello guys, welcome to Eager Technology. So today we will see for and for each loop in C Sharp. First of all, let's know what is for loop. For loop is a control flow statement. It allows a block of code to run repeatedly, means to run the block of code repeatedly. We use the for loop when we have to iterate our value means which is a specific value when we know how many times we have to iterate it means how many times we have to run it repeatedly. So here is the basic structure of for loop. Here is the set value here, then the check condition is there, and then the increment or decrement and the code block to execute in the loop. Okay, so now here is the example of for loop. Here the set value is like this, the check condition is like this, and the increment and decrement is like this. Okay. Now the for loop here is for increment plus plus, and for decrement we use minus minus. This is an example and it has the best explanation too. Okay, so here next is our for loop statement. A scenario where what are we doing? We are doing 1 to 5 iterations, and after finding the sum, we are printing it in the console. So here we have taken this example here. If you see here, we have taken sum as a type integer variable. This is a type integer whose value is assigned as 0. Okay. Now here we have taken for loop. The first thing is how do we create the for loop. Okay. Here we have written for, pressed enter, and then tab. The tab which is the button that comes in our keyboard. Okay. We used it. Look here. Here the set value is there. Here the condition check is there, and here is the increment and decrement is there. We can also decrement. Okay, so this is the way to create a for loop. And here is the block of code, whatever block of code you want to write. Let's remove it. Now look here. Here we have the for loop. The example we have taken here, we are giving one value to the integer j. Then we check if j is less than or equal to 5. If it is less than or equal to 5, then the iteration will stop. It has to run till it is less than or equal to 5. After that, it is not to be incremented, means it will run 5 times. Okay. If I remove the equals to sign, then it will only runs 4 times. Okay, and this is a increment by 1. If we use 2 plus, then the increment. Okay, then the increment happens by 1. Okay, now we start here. If we see, I have started here, I have started it here, we have debugged it here. Okay, we have debugged it. One second. Yeah, look here. Let's do F10. So what is the sum of int? The value is 0. Okay, the value is 0. Now if I do F10 again here, then look, I will go forward. Look here, the value of j is 1 here. We are checking j here. The value of j is 1 only, and this j is 1. Now look, I do F10 again. It goes inside sum plus equals to j. So what is its definition? Sum equals to sum plus j. Now here is 1. Then what will be 0 plus 1? It is 1 only. In the sum, the value is 1 only. Okay, earlier it was 0. Now it has become 1. Now what comes next? We have done F10. Look here, we have done sum. Now look, the value of sum has become 3. How did it become 3? Because when the increment happens, then it becomes 1. Okay, earlier it was 1, then it becomes 2. So after becoming 2, it becomes 2 plus 1. So what happened? 1 plus 2. So it become 3. So 3 got so 3 got set here in the sum. So what comes next? It got incremented. Now look at the value of j is 3. And sum is also 3. So what happens? 3 plus 3. Okay, one second. J's value is F10. Okay. 3 plus 3 became 6. Okay. There was 3 in sum and 3 came in J. Now what will come in sum? Look, 4 will come in sum. 4 came in J and 6 in sum. Now look here. If you see what is there in J, the value is 4 and there is 6 in sum. So if you see here, now it will get plus. Now it will become plus and become 10. This has become 10. Now it has become some 10. Now it will be back to 5 plus means now it will run only till 5, right? Because we gave the value till 5. See, this has become 15. Now there will be no increment. Now the condition has become false. Now if you see the condition here, it has become false. Now F10 will go out. Now it will print in the console write line F10. So here it has printed the sum of numbers from 1 to 5 is 15, okay, which we have used by doing for loop, okay. Understand here, you will see what we are doing. We are using a for loop that where we have to iterate from 1 to 5 means we have to run it in a loop. So we are using for loop so that we can sum those value and run it 5 times, okay. And we use for loop when we know the values, that this is how many times we have to iterate, this many times we have to run it in the loop. Okay, next comes our for each loop, okay. Now here is the explanation of for each loop. You can see properly for each loop. For each loop is basically used when it is used to iterate the elements of a collection of array. Means it is used to iterate to print it, and for each loop it keeps on printing whatever values are there continuously. Means it does not happen that it will run out. It is not assigned a specific value. Whatever the values are in the array, it will run completely like we have done in the for loop here. If you see, we have given up to 5 in the for loop, okay. We have defined the value for that, but here we don't have to define the value in the for each loop, okay. Whatever the values are in the array or in the collection, it will keep executing all the values one by one. So here is the basic structure of a for each loop. If you see here, for each loop where item in collections, okay, here is the chart of it properly, which has been given here for your better understanding, and then it is explanation, and then its explanation for it to understand, okay. Here is a statement of a for each loop. What we are doing is we have an array int integer type collection of numbers as a variable, an array. From that we are finding the maximum number, okay, uh, through for each loop. So we have taken an example in the Visual Studio. If you see below here, we have taken the example below here. So first see, here we are showing array. So array is a new concept for you. So what will we do with array? Let us first see how array is formed. Here collection of variables is the same. Means the variable which is created is given a type, just like we created diff data type. We create a variable, it is created in the same way, but what is the difference in this? It is very important to define these brackets after the type, okay. For array definition, it means that for defining an array, it is very important to give these brackets. And what is next after the array? Defining an array after the type means that we have to define such a box. You can have any type like decimal, string, integer, booleans, any of them, but it is important to define these brackets in array. After the equals to, we assign values like this. So what happens in the array? These are brackets, and inside the curly brackets we have to assign values, and the values will be used one by one. Means 14, then comma. If you use the string, then you will put a string here and then put a value in it. Then after the comma you will use string again, then put a value in it, then after the comma you will use string again, okay. So here we have taken a variable as a collection of number as an array type integer. Okay, array integer type is, it has a value 14, 8, 21, 5, 37, and 2. Now you can see here below we have taken an integer type whose value is max. and above we have taken an index of collection of numbers as 0. Now see here, whenever the index of array starts from 0 and the length start from 1, so its index 0 means 14 here, whatever value can be. If it is 140 also, even then its index will remain 0. Okay, so here we make it 14 properly. So it is 0, its index is 1, it has 2, it has 3, and it has 4. Okay, and it has 5, and the length starts from 1. Okay, now 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so it is like this. 1 second, let's comment it out. You will see here, now this is done, our index is done, and we have also seen the length. So here we have defined the index collection of numbers. We have defined the index in bracket. Whenever we use array, we can define such index. Okay, now here we have taken the for each loop. So let us see the way to declare for each loop. First we have written the for each, and then we have pressed tab. The system has given us a complete structure. Here where will come an item in collection, and whatever collection will be there, whatever will come from above, we pass it here, array, or you can say list. Then whatever we want to print, we print it through item. Now we remove it. So here you can see we have started it. It has started. After debugging, it will see properly. Continue here, look here. Here there is a for each loop. Now let's take it here. We have taken it here. Now it will remain here. We have debugged here, so it is stuck inside the for each loop. Look here, what is the collection here? Here the index is showing complete 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and look at the max here. The value of max is 14 because the index 0 is 14 in collection of numbers. Now the entire data of collection of number has come here. Only 14 will come in number. In collection, whatever data is there, it adds it one by one in the number. Okay, now let's do F10 here. See that number is greater, number is 14 and max is 14, so the condition of value itself has become false. Okay, so it will not go inside. So we do F10 again, then the for each loop will run again. It goes on in, then take the number. Now see what is the number. Now it has come inside. Now what is the number? 8. And what is the max? It is 14. Still the condition is seen to be false. Now if we press F10, then it run again. When it runs again, what will come? Now what is the number? See, now the number is 21 and the max is 14. Okay, to 21 has came. It is iterating one by one, as I told you. So what is this number? 21. Now the condition is true. It is greater, so it will go inside. Now what value did he set in the max? 21. Now it goes out. Now if you see the value of max, it has become 21. It can be seen that 21 is here. So we have updated it from here. Now let's do F10 and keep continuing like this. Now 37 has came here. We have left the 5 here. 37 is greater than 21, right? Here 37 and here 37 and here 21. Now the condition is true. Now it will go back inside. Look, and now it has made 37. Okay. Earlier it was 21. Now it has become 37. Now 2 will not be printed. It will not go inside. The 2 which is at the end will not go inside. So what happens next? Now it will go on in. It will check if there is nothing there. So it will print the console write line. See now, if I do F10, then it will print the maximum value in the array. This is 37. Okay. So through the for each loop, we have found the maximum value in an array. Okay. This is how we use the for each loop. So here is the explanation of for each loop properly so that you can understand. It is the best explanation in an easy way, and here is the task which you have to do properly so that you can understand better the for and for each loop. Okay, so today we saw for and for each loop in C sharp. Thank you.